Welcome guys to the coding question tutorial by your host and host Mr. Suraj Pawar sir from Leadsoft Placement Academy. So guys, in last video tutorial we have seen what is this logic of repeating digits and how to write them along with all test cases passed. If you haven't checked with that video, please go and check there right now. You can get that idea properly and you can able to execute with that code. Well, in this video tutorial we are going to discuss one most popular question which comes for 4.25 or 4.75 package for many of the company, not just for Accenture. It came for Atos Intel also, it came for HCL also. Okay, now let us check with that question. The question titled as distinct and duplicate integers. What is this question again comes for? The question says in a problem statement, okay, just check with the problem statement. Well, in this problem statement, what they have mentioned here is we have to create a function called as add distinct sub duplicate. This function will have the argument of A, B, C and D. So what are these A, B, C, D? Let us check here in the description. The function accepts four integers A, B, C and D as its argument and implement, okay, all are there in integer data type and we have to implement the function to find what we have to find the sum of distinct number. Okay, sum of distinct means unique number and subtract the duplicate number and return that difference, which means we have two tasks. One task is out of these four integers I have to find out the sum of only unique numbers, those are not repeated, and I have to subtract the duplicate number from them and then I have to return the result of that difference. That must be our logic. We will understood this by taking one single example also from the sample input, but again for this we have some assumptions. What is the first assumptions? For sum of distinct numbers, add all number that appears only once, which means from that list or from that ABCD I have to add the numbers those are appeared only at the once, and for duplicate number we have to subtract the duplicate number only again once. If the duplicate number appears three times also, we have to subtract them only at the once. Now let us check the corresponding output here along with input and output. The logic we have understood. So we have the value of A equals to 5, right? B equals to 4, C equals to 4 and D equals to 9. So the first thing that I am going to do, I am going to create the unique and repeating numbers separately, either in a list of Python or array in Java or array in C or array in C. So if I can see, so we have 5 and 9 is uniquely available. So I'm going to say 5 plus 9, that is what, 14, and one repeating number is there, that is what, 4. So I'm going to subtract this 14 minus 4 and the answer is what, 10. This is how we can evaluate with this answer. Again, we are going to check for second input test cases too. Let us check with that. So here we are second input test cases. What we will have here with the value of A equals to what, minus 1, B equals to what, 3, C equals to what, 8 and D equals to what, minus 6. Well, in this case we don't have any duplicate number to get occurred. So I am going to find out the sum of all, which means minus 1 plus 3 plus 8 minus 6, which becomes 2 plus 8 minus 6, 2, that is what, answer is 4, and that is right. If we don't have any repeating digits available, we are not going to provide with that subtraction. We are simply adding that digits right there. That is how simple it is. Now let us write the code for the same. What must be the logic to get them written and how we guys are going to solve with that pattern. So coming to the pattern right there, is what we have to create the skeleton, and in the input format again multi-line inputs are there, same format we are going to use, and for the skeleton I have to create this function. So let us create this function and then we are going to work with the logic. So let me open the IDLE. So in a Python especially we are going to check with that code. If you guys are familiar, you can convert the same code in Java. If I'm trying to converting this code in C or C++, the video will be very lengthy. But if you guys are facing any single issues that you are converting in either C++ or C or in Java, put me there in a comment section. Definitely I will help out there. So let me just open that last file where I have done the changes. Okay, in the last common digits that we got created, so I'm going to delete all this. So the name of method that I wanted to create is add distinct sub duplicate. So let me create here def add distinct sub duplicate with the arguments of a, b, c, d, and all are the integer values. Okay, so we will write that logic later. Let me create a skeleton. So all are multi-line input. So a equals to, that is again integer of input as its integer input. So b equals to again integer of input, right? C equals to again integer of input, and d equals to integer of input. Now this function, after calling it, is going to returns the value. So I am going to say result equals to add distinct sub duplicate with the value of a, b, c, d, and then we are going to print the results right there. Now the question is to solve with this given input, what I'm going to do to make them return. So the first thing that I'm going to do, firstly I'm going to convert all these values into the list. So I'm going to create a list where the actual value of A, B, C, D, which means the list having 4 elements, are going to be created, and then later I can able to segregate them very easily for unique numbers and for repeating numbers. So how I'm going to write the code? First I'm creating, let us say the data is the name of list. Data equals to the list of a, b, c, d. So 4 elements are there into this list. Next to that I have to create one more list to find out their sum, and that list must be all unique number. But you can come here and see what is the unique or distinct number. For sum of distinct number, add all numbers, that appears what? Only once. That logic I have to be finalized here, and to be get that done, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create, let us say this is my result 1 equals to, using list comprehensions I am going to create it. If you guys don't know what about list comprehensions, where I will suggest you to get back our channel, check for the Python playlist, and there in a list comprehension you can get that idea. So using the list comprehension, what I am going to do, I will form the element in such a way that whose count is 1. So I am going to say element, okay, for element in that data, if the data dot count of that element is equals to what? 1. Let me just maximize it. Okay, so if it is equals to 1, which means it is going to provide us only the unique value. Now we have to calculate the difference value, and that must be a single digit or any number. So to calculate the difference value, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more result, and it should be a same single value. So I'm creating them using the set. So set cannot allow us to store the multiple values or the same value in duplicate time. So if you don't know about that, again you can go to the Python playlist and there you will get that idea. Okay, now to find out that duplicate elements, or what we can say, the repeating numbers from that ABCD, I'm going to iterate throughout the data, because in my data I have stored ABCD, and for each and every element I'm going to check whether the element is not available in that result 1, which means in this set of unique values, if the element is not available, then I am going to add it to the result 2, and this is how simply I can able to fetch the repeating numbers right there. Now let us check with this. So I am going to iterate on data. So for element in data, I am going to say if the element not in that result 1 means our unique values or distinct numbers, if it is not there, then I am going to add it to the, okay, as it's this set, so I am going to use the add function with the element, so that duplicate times or duplicate entries should not be done. And after this, now we guys have finalized our result 1, that is what unique values, and result 2, that is what the repeating number. So we have finalized all this. So I am going to return, so what I am going to return, I have to return the sum of unique values minus the sum of that repeating values. Now let us check, and at the same time we guys are going to check how does it is going to be work. Now let us try this for the first input. What must be the first input? 5449. So I am going to save the code. Let us run here. So the value is 5449. Now let us hit an enter, and we have the error, so there must be a spelling mistake here. Okay, here I forget to put result 1. All right, so let us again run the code. So I'm going to run the file here. So let us check. So we have 5449, and the result is what? Again we have that list attribute don't have add method. Okay, list attribute don't have add method. Oh, it should be result 2, it's not result 1. My bad, because we have to add it to the set of result 2, so it must be the result 2. Let me rerun this one more time. 5449. So you can see the output is 10. Now the question, how does it is going to be work? Let us understand the execution. So here we have the value of A as 5. Here we have value of B as 4, value of C as 4, and the value of D as what? 9. So all these values are passes here. Now it is going to create a list of 5, 4, 4, 9. Now this is the list. Now in this list comparison, it is going to extract the element, and the element comes from the data container. Those satisfied this condition. What is condition? If the count of that element is 1, count means number of appearance. If that number of appearance is 1, then and then only it is going to add. Well, after this filtration, the result 1 will be becomes, okay, 5 occurs only in once, that's right. 4 occurs twice at the second 4. The third 4 again 4 occurs twice, so that is not going to be considered, and 9 occurs at only once. So 5, 9 in the result 1 it is going to store. That is the set of all our distinct number. Set of distinct number. Well, now to form the repeating number, we have created the empty list here, sorry, empty set, and then I'm iterating throughout these elements 5, 4, 4, 9. So for every single element in that data, means like when it is 5, when it is 4, when it is 4, and when it is 9, I'm going to check if that element, means current element, which is either 5, 4, 4 or 9, if it is not in the result 1, then I'm adding to the result 2. So let us do that. So first at the 5, okay, 5 is there at the result 1, so condition will be not satisfied, so this not is going to work. So when it is coming to 4, so in the set I'm going to install or going to add the 4. Again for the next 4 the condition becomes true, but set will not allow you to store the duplicate value, so in the set the 4 is going to store. Now if you can think, the sum of this list 5 plus 9 is what? 14. So sum of result 1 is 14 minus the sum of result 2 is 4, and this is how the 10 answer we are receiving with. And this is simply we guys can able to work it out right there. Now most importantly, how the things are going to change for the sample test case 2. Let us check the sample test cases 2 right there, which is what? There is a different logic, -1, 3, 8 and -6. Okay, let us work there. So we have -1, 3, 8 and -6. So we guys can see, okay, the result is what, 4. Now let us check how this result 4 is going to be occur. So we have the value of A as -1, we have the value of B as what, let us just check here. So we have the value B as 3. Okay, we have the value of C as 8 and the value of D is -6. Well, when all these values are passes here, it is going to create a list as -1, 3, 8 and 6. And for this result, okay, where the element occur only at once, so this result is going to form it like this: -1, 3, 8 and 6. Again the empty set is going to create, and for every element in the data it is going to check whether the element not in result 1 but all the elements are available, so there should not be any element is going to form by the result 2. So result 2 sum should be what, 0. And if I am going to add them together, -1 plus 3 plus 8 minus 6, the result must be what, 4. And this is how the 4 is going to return for that approach. And this is how simply we guys can able to resolve these issues. So if you guys have get something from the videos, please do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share to the needful people. Stay tuned for the next video tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys.